Alright, well, I guess this is the second video I'm making today. Oh, wow. Red Faction, you're getting a lot of stuff today. You got a 48-minute video earlier talking about all the Season 5 stuff for Marvel's Rivals, which I'm going to be playing on stream tomorrow. Purple Faction, if you're seeing this and you're part of also the Red Faction, you're getting gameplay tomorrow. But we got a Renegades weapon tuning preview from Bungie. And, yeah, let's see how this goes. Hello everyone, today we're going to kick things off with the first of 3 articles detailing changes coming to the game's sandbox in Renegades. Today we're talking about the general global updates to discuss, and then we'll delve into everything we're doing for weapons in terms of ammo system, archetype balance, exotic weapons, and perks. The next 2 dev insights on Renegades will cover armor changes and ability updates. And since this is probably going to be a long one, I need to grab something to drink. There we go. Gotta get a little movement show stuff on stream here. HUD buff priority update. Most of the character HUD buffs, the buffs that appear against the left side of the screen, have received a priority iteration. It is now much less likely that a player with a lot of buffs will have an important buff hidden by a less important one. Get to the back of the line, Void Breach cooldown. Okay. The new gear bonus no longer scales with gear tier. Weapon bonus damage for new gear is now 5%. Bonus incoming damage reduction for equipping new gear armor goes up to 10%, 2 per equipped piece. All exotics now count as new gear. Remove the featured exotic selections, they are now redundant. So basically, if you are running Prismatic and you want to use a class item, but it's not considered new gear, well, now it is. You want to use Necrotic Grips? Go for it. You want to use the Fitting Space? Go for it. Or not, yeah, Fitting Space or Fitting Aspect? Go for it. Stasis Freeze. We've updated how frozen targets take increased or decreased damage for weapons based on their ammo type, and fixed a handful of outliers that were doing less damage than intended. Increased Arion Vow and Leviathan's Breast damage boosting to frozen targets to 10%, matching other special and heavy weapons. Fixed an issue where Forerunner micro missile pulse rifles and you were not doing increased damage. Did not deal any increased damage. Fine Line and the Stasis 1 through primary and weapons will still get a 10% damage bonus to frozen targets. Kind of makes sense considering this one is in fact a stasis weapon. Combat Flare Socket. The updated Combat Flare to be reordered under Weapon Cosmetics, returning the shader to its left side. Sorry for breaking muscle memory. Isn't that like in the middle? Disorientate. All the following will now be used as a universal disorient setup in the same way as we handle subclass verbs. To ensure that disorientate effects are consistent and predictable across all gameplay items that use it, and opens us up to potentially do more with it in the future. Overall, it will still function as expected. Combatants will cover their eyes and won't shoot back while players' screens turn bright white while their HUD is removed. Some of the visual effects as the victim in PvP environments might be slightly different based upon case by case. However, this difficulty should be minor. So, shield disorientate, flash counter, bewildering blast, that one, disorienting grenades, concussion grenades, concussive rounds, reactive shock, Gemini Jester, shield disorientate, and this one will no longer have a damage impulse. This damage impulse did roughly 1 damage and was using content from other gameplay items to avoid potential stuff. We remove this. Touch of Malice and Helm of Saint 14 are exempt from this update. Leaving it as well will still have no effect on its gameplay, but under hood it won't be considered disorientated in the same way everything else here will be. We're planning to give this exotic further attention and further release. Touch of Malice versus players is exempt from this update and will continue to be its own bespoke debuff with a unique screen effect. Against combatants, this will continue to be an arc blind as normal. In PvE, we wanted to focus on 3 things: game support and objective players, more ways to earn ammo that didn't rely on getting kills, fix some bugs with specific weapons that make it harder to get ammo, and increase a handful of exotic weapons and weapon archetypes usability by shifting their ammo economies. Alongside this, we also need to bring down a handful of performance outliers by a small amount. Reintroduced ammo scout mods on the helmet, which will spawn an ammo brick for your allies whenever you fill your corresponding meter. The amount of ammo brick is dependent on the number of scout mods you have equipped. Ability assist will now generate a small amount of ammo meter progress, granting buffs, radiant, overshield, etc. 2 allies will grant a small amount of ammo meter progress when they land final blows while buffed. Fixed an issue where glade projectile kills were not correctly scaled to ammo generation. Fixed an issue where machine guns and Lord of Wolves were getting less ammo than intended from scavenger mods. Increase the following exotic ammo brick per amount for the Truth, Heir Apparent, Colony, Prospector, Darcy, Salvation's Grip. Great! Increase the follow-up subfamilies ammo brick amount: Rapid Burst Slug Shotguns and Rapid Fire Shotguns. Reduce the following weapon, so micro, okay. We're reducing the following ammo perk generation bonuses. These used to provide such numerical bonuses because inventory stat values needed to pass a certain threshold to have an effect. But now that every ammo generation matters, these buffs are outsized compared to the other options. Reduce the base ammo trait. Increase the... Okay. The enhanced one is just a 30. Field prepped. MSR. Okay. In the Crucible, after the changes to special ammo generations, we've seen special weapon usage tick back up to a fair amount, or remaining more constrained than it has been in most other ammo systems. So now ammo bricks will last 60 seconds in Crucible. Huh. Alter the firing animation for some long-barreled sidearms to hide the reticle for a reduced duration. Heliocentric Practices, Compact Defender, and a handful of older sidearms with silencers or extended barrels as a part of the physical model. Okay. Some machine guns will now be more stable. In the game. We also been seeing a slow increase in the range sidearms can operate in to give them breathing room versus sidearms and spread shot hand cannons. Okay. General increased stability of 10% on controller for lightweight submachine guns. The ADS fall off damage will now be a little bit extended. Rapid fire pulse rifles are lagging in PvP and PvE, so the damage is going up. Not by a lot, but by some. Bows, don't care. Fusion rifles increased charge times on all of these. And for precisions, adaptives, and aggressives, they have a PV increase. Decent amount, actually. And for high impacts, a decent amount as well. Okay, cool. Shotguns. Not doing well in PvE that much. So rapid fires, lightweight, precision, pellets, and aggressives. All gaining a buff. Rapid fires are gaining a buff to it. Okay. So increase the ammo brick per in PvE from 3 to 4 to 6 to 8. Okay. Slug shotguns are a bit too effective, like rapid fire fusions in higher skill Crucible lobbies, in part due to the forgiving damage profile and susceptible aim assist. So they're reducing the cone size. Snipers. Oh, thank God. Snipers have seen their effectiveness increase since we started granting them 2 shots from drop bricks in PvP, but the amount of flinch they take from other players still feels too jarring, and we further reduce the flinch they take from players while still Well, this is still more flinch than they took before we made the original change. We believe this will strike more of a balance, allowing players to counter a hard scope sniper and not making your weapon feel like you're being kicked when you take damage. Think. A lot of people are going to be mad about this, but I don't care. Rocket pulse rifles. The ammo reserves for rocket pulse rifles are going down to 14 and reduce the enhanced ammo this to 5. Okay. Swords. Well, reduce the... Yeah, that bug is gone now. Ace of Spades. Getting better in PvE. Hawkmoon. PvE damage increase. Really? You really don't want to see... Okay. Okay. I see how it is. Suros Regime is a solid, versatile workhorse weapon with a storied history. In today's sandbox, however, it struggles to compete outside its PvP niche. So we're giving it quality of life. It can now be special reloaded at will to swap between spinning up and dual loader. Okay. Add new hipfire elements to corresponding. Okay. Grant special ammo progress for spun up kills while using spinning up. Grant heavy ammo progress for dual speed. Okay. Hunter tracer rounds can now create a small damaging shockwave and exhaust targets on impact. Touch of Malice. Here we go. Collective Obligation. Requires you or your fire team to provide a source of volatile weakness or suppression for the weapon to leech to get the most out of it. While it always isn't predictable or feasible with a valuable. Okay, we were. Slow rate of leeching debuffs on any damage dealt with the weapon. This can open up for more prismatic or non-void builds and relaxes the need to deploy every debuff yourself on void-centric builds. Add a very slow rate of leeching effects to unaffected targets. Give each effect an order of effectiveness with around a full mag of hits per debuff. Volatile weakness suppression also charges the... So if I keep hitting someone and they're, let's say they're weakened, okay. Symmetry is getting a change. Still hunt, okay. Sniper's mediation to buff Still Hunt's golden gun. Buff Still Hunt golden shots. Still Hunt's golden gun damage while using Celestial Night Harp. Okay. Wither Horde, reduce the silent alarm auto load time from 3. Oh, okay. Oof. The auto load time is now 2 seconds. Duality, reduce the hipfire spread. Chaperone, it will now be using the rapid fire slug frame damage and fire rate profile. Ruinous Effigy, damage buff to the trace rifle when killing anything with the transmission over damaging a mini boss with it. Oh. The special reload will now scale with your reload stat. With the character stat rework and the weapon focused builds now being more supported playstyle, we've re-enabled the special reload on Burden to enable the benefit from the reload stat and some effects. Get those Izzy swap builds back out of the vaults. Tessellation. What? Final blows now also grant 2.5 light and dark transcendence energy and grants bonus time to transcendence while active. What? Fix an issue where the transcendence grenade chunk damage gains when not scaling up the grenade stat. While transcendence is active, special reload shots now deal 25% more damage when combined with the ascendance damage buff. Special reload now reloads the mag from reserves, and you can now special reload when you have 0 ammo in the mag. Catalyst. Increase scorch stacks and slow stacks. Miscellaneous, the update the timing of the reload for Tessellation and Jotun, so that special is okay. Deathbringer, reduce the spread of the secondary cluster munitions after they're created. Oh god. Heavy attacks now suppressed on hits. If the target is already suppressed, it spreads to nearby targets. On the hit, it gives a 10% damage boost per void debuff on the target. Reduce the heavy attack cost to 3 ammo from 4. Added the duelist trance trait and increased max ammo reserves. Oh boy. Terminus of Chaos has a good ammo coming until decent damage, but it's reload frequently. But needs to be reloaded frequently and lacks a distinct gameplay. New effect. Releasing the trigger after a Vextable projectile pulls 12 rounds from the magazine into the... Oh. Oh. So every time you get that little, like, jarring back hit on it, it's going to reload 12. Okay. Too much less damage than intended. We remedied that with the following. Was only hitting 1 instance of damage instead of the usual 5. Increase the damage instance via Tesseract from 5 to 7, so 40% damage increase, and reduce the time between it by 0.44. Oh. Chaining Tesseract was inconsistent if players had reduced the cost of the chain Tesseract links for summer energy down to 10 per. Ooh. Will Spain, don't care. Rangefinder. Since Zoom was decoupled from damage fall off, Rangefinder has no longer fully loaded up to his name. So if you have Rangefinder, you gain 10% range while aiming down sights. So would Rangefinder actually be a good thing for snipers? Rampage, okay. We want Rampage to be a solid perk option, okay. Now loses only 1 stack of damage when the timer expires. Yes, this includes Huckleberry. Oh, Decide to retune how box breathing damage buff is applied by a simple setup. Box breathing now provides a flat 40 buff to your next precision shot damage for all existing weapon types, and 30% for the new heavy ammo sniper. This works out to be a buff around 10% for existing snipers and linears, and a small nerf to scout rifles. Shot swap. Still fails, okay. Sleight of hand, meh. Increase the gains for rockets. By that, no longer activates from explosions caused by perks or from Gallahorn's micro bleh. Bewildering blast, shield disorientate. Storage is now where we can apply it more wildly. Fix an issue where those. That's all we have to share for today. We have a Dev Insight dropping every week before Renegade launches on December 2nd, along with trailers and our weekly Twids, so stay tuned. Okay, big thing to talk about. 1. Heck yeah. That's good. Love that. Pulse rifles, rapid fires are becoming better. Heck yeah. Now, in this. So that's the main things. So, that means that if you have a rapid fire frame uh, pulse rifle, damage has been increased. Do I have a rapid fire? That's an adaptive. That's a heavy. Rapid fire strand. That's lightweight, adaptive, high impact. Didn't mean to do that, but okay. Is in this rapid fire? Yes, different times. So put you away. I'm going to put you over there. I'll put you over there. I'm going to grab that for later. So, and then, okay, so let's talk about this next thing. So, snipers reduce the flinch that you receive from players by 40%. I mean, it's you're not gonna feel like you're being kicked by a bull every time, which is good. Now here's something that I'm wondering, and we're gonna go to the perk, rangefinder. I don't think I have a weapon that's a sniper that has a rangefinder. Like when I look at my snipers, I don't think I have a single one that has rangefinder. Because I go with the normal one, the snapshot opening shot, which is what you do. Box breathing. I mean, box breathing now provides a flat 40% buff to your next shot's precision damage for all existing weapons, and the heavy scale. This is a 10% buff. So for all your existing weapon types. So if I activate box breathing on my sniper, I can switch to my pulse rifle and get a damage buff. Aiming down sights without firing grants it increased aim assist, precision damage multiplier. So could that be good? Like it's going to get a 10% buff to the precision damage. So with that, your next shot's precision damage. So if I fire this, okay. If I get box breathing active, let's say I use this on, because I have the sovereignty, I have a no distraction box breathing one. I get box breathing set up. Can I hot swap to my next weapon, and I gain precision damage bonus. Because let's say like I'm using the rapid fire. I'm using the different times. Could I gain? Would that increase the? That would increase the precision damage by whatever percentage. Wouldn't it? Hmm. That's something that I'm just wondering. No, tessellation. Do I? No, I don't have one. Okay. I'll have to look at that and see what it's like. Um. Yeah, I don't. I don't have it. Uh. Alternate weapon action. Consume your grenade to lower. So, final blows while you have. Okay, well, Transcendence Act, the special reload now costs. Now deal 20% more damage when combined with the Transcendence damage buff. So, if I have 0 ammo here, I can gain. That. This weapon's adapts to the damage to match your equipped grenade. Final blows now grant blah 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 blah, and grants bonus time while Transcendence is active. Grenade chunk gains were not scaling based on the grenade stat. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Black Talon users, well, guess what? Heavy attacks will now suppress enemies. If they're already suppressed, it will spread to other targets, which. Okay. It gets Duelist Trance. This basically gets an auto reload. Warline Zero gets a damage buff. So now the chain Tesseract Blinks will now only take 10 energy away. Rangefinder adds range to it. Now, okay. Two shotguns and fusions at your face, but they didn't work properly, so they fixed it. Okay. The story. So, Boiling Blast. The enhanced duration will only disorientate people for 1.25 seconds against players. These perks did not apply the disorienting effect to bosses. Okay. Okay. Reduce the cooldown of the Poison Burst on Osteria Strigo Final Blow from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. You sure you want to do that with what I'm going to be doing? Especially in conjunction. So we've been a bit cautious here, but we don't want to leave longtime fans of this weapon feeling like it's been gutted. Yeah. Guess what? Wait until you see what I do with the new Warlock boots. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to the submachine gun one. So a lightweight frame. So what are considered lightweight submachine guns? I now have to go to my submachine guns. So lightweight frames are 900 RPM ones. This is a 600, so it's not a lightweight. Damn. So Gunburn is one. Okay. That's aggressive. That's aggressive. That's aggressive. That's adaptive. Wait, adaptives are also 900. So, what makes the difference? So, if you have Gunburn, you have a lightweight. But the stability on them has been increased. So, all submachine guns get that. So, wouldn't I get. Wouldn't I get a buff, and then the only one that gets the damage fall off is the lightweights? Hmm. Interesting. Well, that's it for this video. I am excited to see what this is going to go, but tomorrow I will be live with the Purple Faction doing Marvel's Rivals. So with that being said, Red Faction, hope you enjoyed the second video. I will have a twid out Thursday after I read it. And let's pray we get something for actual Gambit and not the hero coming for Rivals. So yeah, with that being said, see y'all later. Have a great rest of your day.